Okay, part 3. As I said, we're done assembling the frame. Grips go on. They only go on, oh sorry, that's the wrong side. They only go on, as you can tell there, they only go on one way. So that clearly is not right. Nothing lines up. There you go, this one. Set it on, twisting the screws, pretty basic stuff. So it's fairly easy. Taking it apart is fairly easy. It just takes some practice. I'm not saying I'm an expert on it or anything like that. I do strip it down quite regularly. I know a lot of guys that like never strip them down. They just simply do a field strip and never strip them down. But I like tearing them down. Not only do I like really getting in there and cleaning stuff up or whatever, but on the other one I am replacing a lot of those internal parts. So I do strip it down quite regularly to do that sort of stuff anyways. So also I like keeping a clean firearm, and you know, it's kind of like your car. If you take care of it, keep it clean, keep it oiled, you know, it'll treat you good. And so that's what I do with my firearms as well. So grips are on. Now we can set the frame aside, and we're going to start on the slide. Now the only thing on here, you can knock out the sights. Obviously these ones anyways, these are beaver tail or dovetail sights, so you can knock those out. The other thing here, if you want to do a full strip down, the firing pin retainer, the ejector here, you can remove those as well. And well, let's just do it right now. So what you want to do here is push that in, push in the firing pin. There's a firing pin in there and a spring wrapped around it. I'm going to use a couple tools for this. So I'm going to hold in the firing pin a bit just to get this started. Then I'm going to push on that retainer there. Sorry guys, I need to support this somehow. So I'm going to do that, push that in. There you go. So now it's just kind of started there, right? The firing pin hasn't sprung out or flew across the room, which it might. So what you want to do is you want to keep your finger there, stopping that from happening, because obviously it is under pressure with that spring. So I just want to kind of get in there, pull this retainer, slide it down, and there you go. So there's your firing pin and spring. Okay, so that's that. And then your ejector, you can push it. It's on the inside here. I don't know if you can see it. Anyways, there's a piece here. That's your ejector, so I can push that in a bit, which will make it push out the back here a bit, and then I can just grab it or pop it out with this. Okay. So there you go. That's that. Only goes in one way. So we that's it. That's completely stripped down. I should have done that earlier, I guess. But anyways, we'll put that back together, and we'll set it back up here. So anyways, put it back in. Obviously this little notch is going to go kind of sit like that. Or sorry, sit like that. That's what grabs the back of the casing and ejects it. So that's how that works. So we're going to slide that in. Obviously you're going to line up this notch right here with the notch right there. So I'm going to push it in. You want this to be flush with the back. So what you can do is just stick your thumb in there and kind of push it back a bit. See that? I know it's not the clearest, but anyways, push it back so it's flush. That'll make your life easier when you're going to put in this. So firing pin, spring goes in. What I do is I hold this down. I'm sure that's what everybody does. Hold that down, and you just wanna, this only goes in like that, okay? So what you want to do is this little notch here will come up there. So you put it in the grooves there. You want to push it in Again, making sure that your ejector is flush, because that's the kind of the rail or the groove that it rides in. So it has to line up properly. It can also get turned sideways, which it is right now a little bit, so I can straighten that out. Sorry guys. And straighten that out like that. Okay. I can hold that in. This rounded bit goes to the top, by the way, towards the sight. And I can slide that in. Just like that. You just want to wiggle it enough so that it catches the firing pin, right? Then I can remove the tool, and if I push it all the way in, there you go. It snaps the firing pin in, and now it's seated and good to go. So we can continue with the assembly of the slide. First thing we're going to do, take the barrel, we're going to slide it in through the front of the slide, and it kind of latches in place with those little grooves that I showed you, I believe, in the first video. So we're going to do that. Then we're going to take the guide rod. There's a grooved side here. That's obviously going to go against the barrel. So we're going to put that in. What I do next, some guys don't, they put the spring and everything in, but I put the barrel bushing in right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it in there like that, and then, as I said before, we're going to rotate it to that position. Now I could put the spring in, okay, and we're good to go. So we're going to push this in. I'm going to use my screwdriver again, as I did to remove it, being careful not to launch it across the room. You only do that once. So you push that in, and then I swing the bushing over just enough to latch it, right? So now it's kind of holding it. It's not on there yet, but it's just holding that in, and then you can just kind of finish it off, click it in. There you go. So that's good. We're set. We can take that now and put it on the frame. So again, line it up and make sure your thumb safety is off. Slide it on. You're going to line up the holes. You're going to take your slide release. You're going to push it in just to pin it there. Again, you don't have to use a tool for this part, but this little plunger here, we're going to move that out of the way. Just kind of push it up just enough so that we can click up the slide release just past it. Okay? Just like that. So we're not done yet. Sounds like we're done. It clicked in and stuff like that. It isn't done. What you need to do is, same thing as on, sorry, I'll show you this way. Same thing as on this assembly. The first groove, second groove. So you want to get the slide back lined up with that right there on the slide release. Get it back lined up with that, click it in. So we'll line up the groove right there and click. So now you're good to go. Guns back together, cycle it a few times, make sure that it works. It does. So that's that. So we did full disassembly of the firearm and reassembly of the firearm. Perfect. Good work.